Hello, beautiful human. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to get back into the podcast. It has been way too long. I missed you. I have so many updates to share with you guys. So let's just start. Today, we are going to be talking about how to find gratitude and be thankful when you are surrounded by people that make you crazy. Thanksgiving is coming up, crazy holidays, dinner table conversations that make your head spin. I get it. We're going to talk about how you can find gratitude amidst during the chaos. Let's get into it. First, I have lots of updates for you. Um wow. Wow. Let me think. So my birthday's coming up, and last year at this time, I was like, I want this to be the best year ever. And I want to be in my best self in my career, in my relationship, all the things. And I would say for the first half of age 22, I was thinking, universe, why do you hate me? God, why do you hate me? What is going on? Like, I felt like everything was falling apart. Nothing was going my way. Nothing was going according to my plan. Uh, the pattern app that I talk about all the time that gives you like your cycles and tells you what phases of life you're in, I highly recommend downloading and using the pattern app. This is not sponsored. I am just obsessed with this app. It kept telling me things about like your career is changing, you're moving on, it's time to let go of things. And I was like, wow, I can't believe the pattern app is wrong. And let me just say, the pattern app is never wrong. Ever. It is never ever wrong. Literally ever. It is always right, even when what's right is really hard for you to accept. And I was not in a position ready to accept what the pattern app was telling me, to let go of my career. That's what it was telling me, to let go of my career. And that felt impossible to me. So a year ago at this time, my career was hardcore coaching. I was a hardcore coach. I was running masterminds, mini minds, group programs, long term one on one programs. I was selling a lot. And I was tired. And it was exhausting, but that's just what I learned and that's what I did. That's what we all did. So there was no other option really to me. That was just what I would be doing forever. But I could not picture myself having my dream home, having my children, having a full life where I am launching those programs. You know, like those two things didn't really fit together. So I knew in the back of my mind that that is not what I was meant to be doing all the time. Now, I am so grateful for my journey as a coach. My coaching life. I'm still coaching technically. We'll get into what I'm doing now, but I learned so much from working intimately with people, hearing from people one-on-one what they're struggling with, watching people go through that transformation and getting to facilitate that and guide them through it of what they were struggling with, what they thought about themselves, and then changing that and reworking limiting beliefs and getting to follow people for 6 months or a year or even 2 months or even 30 days, but just watching someone grow from one place to another and getting to facilitate that and listen to them and practice my listening skills and learn that everyone is so different. And also the other side of it of learning to sell and market and work a business. Like there's so much that I learned from what is it, the 3 years that I was hardcore coaching. Then this last year, I said when I turned 22, this is the year I want to step into the best version of myself. I want to step into exactly where I'm meant to be. Universe said, okay, this is not it. This is not it because this is not your highest potential right now. This is a learning ground. This is a stepping stone. There's more for you out there. But that was really, really hard for me to let go of. I would not let go of it. And then I was kind of forced to let go of it. Like the universe, if you say you want some outcome, but you are holding on to something that cannot come with you to that better land, you're carrying baggage, you're bringing a carry-on that you're not allowed to bring on the plane, the universe is going to take it away. And it might be tough, but it's for the best. It's for your best interest. So that's kind of what happened. And then things just kind of fizzled in front of me. But in order to rebuild something stronger, things need to come down. And in reflection, we're always able to see that. I'm able to see so clearly now, like, oh yeah, that had to go away. That was holding me back. That was making me miserable. Duh. I can see it now, but in the moment, it was so comfortable. It was safe. It was something I was familiar with, so I didn't want to let go of it because even when things are awful for you, if it's comfortable, you don't want to let go of it. And this is why people stay in toxic relationships, abusive relationships, homes surrounded by people that make you crazy because it's comfortable. And it's really difficult to walk away from something that has been your comfort zone. Even if it's bad for you, your body recognizes it, and change is sometimes scarier than the bad things we already know. You know what I mean? So, validation to you, if you've been holding on to something that isn't meant for you, it's okay. I get it. It's so valid. And then the other piece of it is my spirituality journey. So, during my spiritual awakening, like the first time, there's like 17, but the first time, I really got into the mindset of I am in control because I had a lot of trouble with feeling like the world was out to get me, right? And like the world is a terrible place. There's nothing I can do about it. Throw my hands up. F this world, right? But then when I went through my spiritual awakening, it was kind of like, okay, no, like I'm in control of my reality. I'm in control of my perspective. Let me take control, make a change my mindset, change my habits. You know, like I talk about that all the time. The name of the freaking podcast is Perspective. So that was really the first big mindset change that I made. And that really helped me grow into who I am because it helped me uh just like rewire the way I was viewing the world because I saw it as a terrible place with no hope. But taking control gives you that hope back, right? But then I think that kind of once you grow and evolve and you understand that concept, a new layer can start to develop of stress attached to the control you have. Like, have you ever felt like you accidentally manifested something or you accidentally created a bad situation? Because, you know, like I was just saying, everything was being taken away from me, everything was kind of falling apart. So I started thinking, oh, I must not be positive enough. You know, I must be manifesting this because if I'm in control of my reality, then this is my fault. I must have messed up. I must have fallen short on my affirmations. I must have, I don't know, rested too much. You know what I mean? Like I was just kind of getting hard on myself and blaming myself, saying, wow, if everything's really falling apart, if my life is not going well, if things aren't going according to my plan, which, you know, that quote is always like when you tell God you have a plan, he just laughs in your face, or like you tell the universe you have a plan and she just laughs in your face. It's just funny because like you don't know anything. Like the version of life that we see is so tunnel vision. There is so much more that we don't know and that we can't see. But anyway, I can go on that tangent for a really long time. But yeah, I just started really like feeling like I was at fault and I messed up. I messed up my reality because if I'm in control, there's no one else to blame but me. So then I really had to go through this deeper journey and come out of the other side realizing, you know what? I'm allowed to let go and let the universe take control. Or let go and let God, whatever that means for you. And sometimes it's not all on me. You know, like I feel the ability to release weight off of your shoulders and give it to the universe was something I wasn't really doing often. I felt like I was putting so much on myself, and this is something we do so often because we say, I'm in control of my reality. So you put so much pressure on yourself to, quote, create your dream life. But sometimes what you need to do, the best thing you can do is just let go of the responsibility, let go of the control for a moment, and let the universe handle it because there's things you just can't see that are working out for you. Things are being broken down because they need to be rebuilt in a better way. You can't see that right now. You can't see why you've had to go through this breakup. You can't see why you had to be fired. You can't see why you had to move. You can't see why you went on injury, you know? But there's a reason behind it all. And we can't see that reason. But whatever it is, it's happening for you. That's the biggest affirmation here. Everything happens for me. Nothing happens to me. Everything happens for me. And when I feel lost, when I feel out of control, when I feel stressed, I am allowed to let go and let the universe take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. You know, like I am allowed to let go and breathe. Whatever that looks like for you, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's just your higher self, whoever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you, you are allowed to let go. So these are the things that I've learned over the past year, and I'm about to turn 23. And, last year I was really hardcore. I was in a very hardcore place just even as like a business owner. Like that masculine energy was very, very strong. And now I'm really, really transitioned into a feminine energy. So where I'm at now in my career, I have actually just finished with my final coaching client that I had. We had been working together for over a year and we had a one-on-one thing going for a long time. And then finally, she this happens often. You'll notice it in your own coaching investments and with your clients. People can outgrow you because they've sucked all the knowledge out of you, or you've talked about everything you possibly can and you kind of get to a point where you're talking about the same things again, or you're just so close at that point, which is kind of what happened with this client. You get so close after a whole year of working intimately together. You know everything about each other, especially in personal development and mindset coaching. I know all about your relationship and your parents and your career and your life because all these puzzle pieces need to come together in our coaching. So we know everything that there is to know about each other. And at this point, it's like we're friends now. This is more than a coach client relationship. And people can outgrow. You can outgrow your coach even if you love them dearly. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It means the coaching worked, because you've grown so much. This client grew so much. She was a different person. She's going to be listening to this right now because she listens to the podcast religiously, and you're going to know I'm talking about you. She has changed into a completely new person. And that was that. So that was my final coaching client that I had. I had, a full roster of like 9 one-on-one clients and 6 or 4 or 3 mastermind clients and 7 or 8 or 10 mini mind clients and so many clients and so much coaching, so much masculine energy. And I loved it and I fully committed myself to it. But not but. And with that journey, a chapter ended and a new chapter started where now I am meant to share all of that knowledge with a larger space. And here we are. Podcast has been taken way more seriously. Like this is the space where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be talking to the masses, I guess you could say, not just my intimate clients. And I'm meant to be sharing my voice on a bigger level. So content creation has really taken a huge role for me. I've always shared my lifestyle with you guys. I've always shared like my behind the scenes and behind the curtain with you guys. So that's why I'm sharing all this information with you. Because I don't like for this to feel like there's a barrier and like I'm just preaching to you, but you don't know me. Like I want you to know me. So that's why I'm sharing all these details with you. So yeah, content creation and the podcast have just been transformed into my career. And then I also am working very heavily with the Good Mind app, which I am so passionate about. The Good Mind app is like my passion baby. I am obsessed with it and I would love to tell you more about it. So please feel free to send me a message if you want to chat all about Good Mind. And I'll put some information in the description with my code for you to get into the Good Mind app. But I am just beyond obsessed with it. And we are also looking for more creators to join the Good Mind app. So if you are a mindset or affirmations or personal development or spiritual or any type of mentor or coach or creator who has a platform and is looking to be a part of an app, send me a message. I would love to talk with you. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's been my life recently. And it's been wonderful. And now, as this year is coming to a close and I went through the craziest of transformations to get here, I'm like, year of 2023? What? Not 2023. That is behind us. Year of me being 23. I'm going to turn 23 in like a few days, 10 days. Is peace. Peace of mind, rest, relaxation. I'm like, yep, I went through the phases of huge change and power moves and craziness. And now this year is for peace. Peace of mind, consistency, home. Those are my words of the new year, if you were wondering. Yeah, so that's my life updates. Thanks for listening to my life updates. And now let's get into how you can find gratitude and thankfulness amidst the chaos. I don't know why I can't say that word, amidst the chaos, during the chaos. Because, I'm talking about this crazy journey that I went through, and I was still able to find so much gratitude during it, even when it was so difficult because I'm like, what is going on? What are we talking about? What is happening? There's still that level of gratitude for the big things like food, a roof over your head, and the very, very little things like between small acts of kindness between you and a stranger. Um, a hug, a good TV show, a good binge. There's so much to be grateful for, even when things are going absolutely crazy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Politics talks at the dinner table can make you crazy. The way the world is going can make you feel crazy. And I know a lot of us at Thanksgiving are going to be sitting at a table having to talk about things that make you want to rip your hair out. And also, there's just fear of where is this world going right now? What are we doing? Are my rights safe? Am I safe? And it's hard to find gratitude when that is all that's on your mind. I had a friend talking with me about that. She's like, I'm struggling. She was asking me for advice, and she's like, I'm struggling to find peace of mind in my gratitude practice when all I can think about is my rights can be taken away from me. And all I can think about is the world is not safe. How am I supposed to say, oh yeah, I'm so grateful for this little matcha latte I had when everything else is falling apart and the big picture doesn't feel safe, you know? So we're going to talk about that today. The first step to authentic gratitude is going to be to accept how you feel right now. You know, we can't get to a place of authentically feeling so grateful for our lives and feeling so abundant if right now you feel like shit. Or as we say, the pits. Me and my girlfriend always say, we're in the pits. It's just like a lighthearted way to say like I'm in a bad mood right now. So, you need to be authentic in how you feel right now. So, I am a big fan of the diary. Like, get a diary, lean in your diary, tell your diary how you feel. I have two journals. I have my diary and then my manifesting journal. My diary is full of like my true story, how I'm feeling, my frustration, my aggravation, my like story of the day. Like, you know, dear diary, today I did this and that. I feel crazy. I feel overwhelmed. That's where all my true emotions live. Then I go over to my manifesting journal. That's where I do my gratitude practice, my rituals, my affirmations, my full moon and new moon, like reflections and gratitude, like all of that spiritual practices goes on in that journal. So there's no overlay. Also, in my diary, I'll say people's names. In my manifesting journal, no one else's name gets mentioned but my own. So there's just like that balance so that before you get into that higher level thinking, you are really tapping into your authentic feelings and validating them because pushing them down is not going to do anything good for you. You need to let yourself feel the feelings. All your feelings are valid. Spiritual practice is not about suppressing your truth and just saying, oh, everything's fine, everything's positive. We need to have a healthy balance because we also have to remember, I say this all the time, we can't have happiness if we don't also have sadness. Those things need to coexist. If all we had was happiness and gratitude and butterflies, we wouldn't even understand what we're experiencing because we don't have the polarity to understand the concept. You know, we need opposites in order to understand anything, otherwise, everything becomes neutral, right? You know what I mean? So let yourself feel the feelings. That's your first step. Then we need to ground yourself. So I've been doing a lot of grounding and meditation practice and taking a lot of workshops on this as I'm going through my 200-hour yoga teacher training. By the way, on my YouTube channel, I've started to post yoga videos. I posted my first one recently. I'm going to try to do that very consistently. It's part of my homework to record myself teaching and send it in. And the easiest way to send something in is as a link. So I was like, why not just put it on YouTube for all you guys? And if you enjoy it, that's awesome. If you don't, that's okay. But I definitely am taking yoga a lot more seriously during this part of change in my life. And I've learned so much about meditation and mindfulness. So, easiest way to ground yourself, one of my favorite ways to ground yourself, the palms. It is such a simple way. If you're looking to receive something, so let's say you're about to walk into Thanksgiving, you're feeling anxious, you're looking to receive perspective, groundedness, clarity. You want to receive level headedness, maybe patience, palms up. If you're looking to ground yourself, so you feel like you have too much going on, you're just feeling anxious, you feel like you can't think, you can't focus, you can't even think about what you want to receive, you're feeling overwhelmed by all the voices, palms down. Palms down towards the earth, grounding. Palms up towards the sky, receiving. If you're receiving, you're going to think about what it is you want to receive. That's going to be your affirmation. I am receiving, insert word. If you want to ground yourself, your palms go down and you are going to say, I am grounded. I am safe. I am present. Those are all great affirmations to say during this exercise. Now you're going to work on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. When you breathe in through your nose, I want you to try to do it for 4 seconds to start. We're going to do square breathing. So imagine a square being drawn as you're breathing. The inhale for 4 seconds is one line. Hold at the top. That's another line of your square. Exhale for 4. And then hold at the bottom for 4. So it's 4 seconds each, creating a square. You could redraw this square as many times as you want. If you're able to increase to 5 seconds, increase to 6 seconds each line. Inhale for 4. Hold at the top for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold at the bottom for 4. This will really help steady yourself, ground yourself, rebalance your nervous system, reset your body. It's like turning off and on your body again. It's like, oh, I just said turning on your body. Not sexually, like reset. Like, when you hold down the power button, the volume button on your phone, this is like how you're doing that for your body. If that feels like it's not doing enough for you, or if you have a safe space to be able to do this, like go up to your room or go somewhere private, I don't know, the bathroom or something, child's pose is really great for this too. I just made a whole Threads post about all of the benefits of sitting in a child's pose for 5 minutes, but that can really help with balancing your nervous system too, especially putting the crown of your head, I'm sorry, not the crown of your head, your third eye on the ground towards the earth can really help to, oh my god, just like putting my thumb there honestly helps so much. So you could do that too during this breathing if you want to make like prayer hands and put pressure with your thumb right in the center of your forehead. Yeah, those are really helpful things. So the first thing we're going to do is recognize our feelings. If you have a journal, you're able to write them down, that's great. If not, again, just go to the bathroom, separate yourself, recognize how you're feeling. Look at yourself, say, okay, what am I feeling right now? Validate it. Then, based on how you're feeling, you're going to either receive or ground yourself, do that square breathing. Now you are feeling a reset. When you enter the space again, or whether this is at your Thanksgiving dinner table or just in general throughout life, this is just great habits to have to be able to stay grounded and centered and calm and keep yourself together. When you re enter the space, I want you to remember you are in control of two things: your perspective and your next move or your next decision. You are in control of your next move and your perspective. That's it. You are not in control of other people's words, other people's thoughts. You cannot change someone else's thoughts. You can't change someone else's actions. You can't fix someone, and that's not your job. Not only are you not able to, but it is not your job or your place, to be totally honest with you. You're in control of your perspective and your next move. So stressing about trying to change someone else's mind, try to change someone else's anything, it's not conducive. It's not helpful. It's not good for your nervous system or theirs. Healthy conversation is so important. You can fill a healthy conversation with kindness and respect and have a healthy debate or a healthy conversation if both of you agree that you are rooted in kindness and maturity and simply wanting the best for each other and wanting to have a mature conversation. I would say like 7 out of 10 times that is not what's going on. People just want to argue. Is that good for your nervous system? Is that good for both of you? Are you going to benefit? I feel like ask yourself, am I benefiting from this conversation? If you're not, maybe just take a breath and say something kind to the table. That is probably the hardest thing I could say. Say something kind or do something kind. Like in that moment, something I love to do when I'm feeling fussy, which is the word I always say, because I feel like, again, I just say these things that take off the weight of the um emotion, like me and my partner saying, "This is the pits," instead of saying like, "F this." It just makes it a little bit more lighthearted, and saying I'm feeling fussy instead of saying like I'm pissed off. It just makes it a lot lighter and can make you laugh in that moment. It's kind of like when you have a kid and you say things like fiddlesticks instead of F-bombing. That always makes me laugh. And I have a grandparent who still says sugar pop all the time. I'm like, I'm turning 23. You don't have to say sugar pop, but she does. Anyway, just keep it lighthearted. Just keep it lighthearted. Really helps. Try to take out the aggression in your life. It will make you so much happier. But yeah, I forgot where I was even going with that. When I'm feeling fussy, oh yeah, I try to do something kind in that moment, whether that's for myself, for someone else. Say something kind, even just saying like, "Hey, I really like your hair." Honestly, don't say something that you don't really mean. But even if it's just to someone totally different, in that moment, there's this aggressive conversation going on. There's someone over here. "Hey, your hair looks really pretty today." Mood lightened. It could be something simple, like a compliment. It could be something much bigger. It could be, I don't know. I'm not going to explain it too much. You know what an act of kindness is. taking a moment of frustration, taking a deep breath, resetting yourself, and then doing something kind or engaging in something good for the world will make you feel better. It is a proven fact that finding gratitude and finding kindness in moments of stress and trouble will make you happier. That is how it works. Being able to take a moment that is stressful and find goodness in it, find gratitude in it, and find kindness in it will make you a happier person and will make you a more grounded person. So try it. That is my advice to you. Lastly, my advice is to always, always be writing down the things that you're grateful for, whether that's a running list in your notes app or a journal that you keep or something you do in your head. If you really don't like writing things down just before you fall asleep, naming things you're grateful for. My rule of thumb is something really big, like the big picture things like house, life, air, food. I mean, those are actually like very, when I say big, I mean kind of like big picture. These are huge things to be grateful for. But sometimes the reason I say this is because sometimes I've had clients tell me like, I do this every day and I get bored by day 3 because I'm writing, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my food, I'm grateful for water, I'm grateful for my body. And then I get bored. Like, yeah, I get that. So that's why I have this rule of thumb. A big thing, a medium thing, and then a very minuscule thing from that day specifically. So for me, maybe this would be I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for yoga, and I am grateful that this morning my coffee was made very good and the server smiled at me, you know? And my bigger challenge to you is to never repeat yourself because there are infinite things to be grateful for. It might take you another minute to think harder, but I really want you to never repeat yourself in your gratitude. And if you do, say it differently, say it for a different reason. There are infinite things for you to be grateful for. And if you're able to always say something different, again, you will find so much more groundedness, so much more happiness. So, yeah, I want to share with you that I will be more consistent on the podcast. We took a little bit of a break, as again we've been settling in. This is my new podcast location, and it's just been so busy with the Good Mind app and content creation and change, and honestly just settling in. I got another golden doodle. I haven't updated you guys here on that, but we adopted him on a whim. It was like a random day, zero intentions of getting another dog, zero conversations about it. That's always how it goes, right? And then we ran into another golden doodle on a walk, and Mason played so well with that other golden doodle, and I was just thinking like, "Oh my god, it would be so sweet if he had a brother because then he could play like this all the time." And then I just googled adoption centers near me, and the first thing that came up was a picture of this precious golden doodle sitting in a shelter. And he had just gotten dropped off that morning, and it was 9 minutes away or like 10 minutes away or something, and he was only there for that day. Like the shelter was only open on the weekends, and I think whoever surrendered him would have to like take him back for the week. I don't know how it worked. But all I knew is that he was only there for that day. So it was like now or never type of thing. So we just drove over there, and as soon as I met this dog, I was like, I need to take you home immediately. Like I need you to be mine right now. I could cry thinking about it. And we played with him there. He met Mason because we had Mason with us. And then we just adopted him right then and there. And we gave him a haircut because he was so matted and so shaggy. And the reason he was surrendered is because he peed in the house and he destroyed things. That's what they said. He has never peed in our house. There was pee in the house once, when we left them alone. But then the next day, we caught Mason peeing in the house, which was shocking. And I don't know if it was like a act of like, I don't know, acting out, or maybe he did it because he saw Jackson do it in the house. I don't know what happened. But it was like the first day there was pee on the floor. And then like a couple days later, Mason was peeing on the floor and I was like, "What are you doing? We've had you for so long. You've never had an accident." He was perfect to potty train. Such a weird thing. I don't know what that was. He hasn't done it again since, and it's been like a month. But yeah, that was weird. But he's never peed in the house. I took him to the vet to make sure there was nothing wrong with him because I'm like, okay, if he's constantly peeing, and they kept him in the crate 24/7, how sad is that? Because he was peeing in the house, they couldn't trust him, so they just kept him in the crate all day, took him out, put him back in the crate. Like, that is not fair to that poor little baby. So yeah, I took him to the vet to make sure there was nothing wrong with his, like, I don't know, body that was making him pee so much. And he got diagnosed with separation anxiety. And he just, as like his nervous tick, I guess, or like comfort, he drinks a lot and he overdrinks. and then he pees because he can't hold in his water. So we just have to be mindful to not fill his water bowl too high, or, watch out for him if he's drinking a whole lot. Just be mindful. A lot of dogs overdrink anyway, even without the anxiety aspect. Just like, ooh, water. They just can't think straight in that moment. Like, don't overdo it, So just have to keep an eye on him. And the destroying stuff, he's never done that. So that was probably just him acting out because he was left alone for too long or unhappy. If dogs do that, it's because they need something, even if it's just they need attention. But he has not destroyed a single thing. He's been the sweetest, most gentle boy. He makes Mason look like a maniac because Mason is crazy and Jackson is so sweet and so gentle and he's been so lovely. So I'm really glad that we met him and connected with him and the stars aligned for us to bring him home and save him. And it feels really good to give him a home that is loving and safe and free. They're both free range. They just run around the house like they own the place. I love helping you guys work through your mindset and shift your perspective. It is truly my passion, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Make sure you follow on Instagram, on TikTok, subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you're not watching on YouTube right now, you should go over to YouTube and subscribe because the video versions are just so much better. You get to actually see my facial expressions and all my hand movements as I'm talking to you guys. I'm going to link some fun things in the description, some digital downloads to help you on your journey, gratitude journal specifically, and lots of other fun links and things. I'll link the Good Mind app as well. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and I hope you have an amazing day. I'll talk to you next time.